This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
Welcome back. Rotary Park in Kirksville will soon be looking a lot like the Civil War era. The Battle of Kirksville Reenactment is making a return to the Heartland. Joining me this morning is Assistant City Manager Ashley Young. How are you doing?
Great. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. It is early. Troy's been giving us some okay weather.
Yeah, it's been better. We'll put it that way.
It has been better.
It's all relative, though, compared to what we went through this year so far. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely. But hopefully the weather is good for the upcoming weekend because
well, we're hoping so.
It's very big. A lot of preparation went into this. Tell me all about the reenactment. Like, what is this about, and how did you maybe decide to do a reenactment instead of maybe celebrating in a different way?
Sure. Well, first of all, the Battle of Kirksville, which took place as part of the American Civil War, took place on August 6th, 1862. Now, many viewers might remember that we celebrated the sesquicentennial of that battle 3 years ago. And the actual fighting took place, of course, between Union and Confederate troops, mostly in the vicinity of downtown Kirksville, which is kind of interesting. A lot of people don't realize that. Some of the troops were even holed up in the courthouse that sat in the middle of the square, which is a different building than the one we have now. But in any case, we decided to commemorate that event 3 years ago with the sesquicentennial with a number of events, including a reenactment of the Battle of Kirksville in Rotary Park. And so the individuals that were involved in that, the Office of Tourism, obviously the city, along with the 2nd Missouri Company K Civil War Reenacting Group, and the Adair County Historical Society, a number of groups got together and decided that this was something that they wanted to do on a fairly regular basis. Right now, folks are thinking that we'd like to do that every 3 years or so, and of course it's been 3 years since the sesquicentennial celebration or reenactment, and so here we are. And it will take place beginning this Friday evening and go through the weekend on Saturday and Sunday in Rotary Park.
And now there are a lot of events that are taking place. It's not just the reenactment. So tell me what some people have to look forward to coming out.
That's right. Well, events will get kicked off on Friday evening, actually, at 7 p.m. with the Kirksville Arts Association's Summer on the Square concert series. So come on down to downtown Kirksville and take that in. And then the next morning, the reenactment itself will occur, and that the park will actually open to the public at 8 a.m. And then at 9 a.m., folks can come in and watch the soldiers drill. And then at 10 a.m., we'll have various living historians available for folks to come and learn more about that time period. There'll be a blacksmith, a medical tent. We'll actually have portrayals from Sister Mary, who was a Catholic nun from the period, along with Mary Todd Lincoln, who of course was President Lincoln's wife, and other historical displays with some artifacts from the Civil War, and in fact from this area in northeast Missouri from the period, so that's all very interesting. Then there'll be a lunch, and then the main attraction occurs at 1 p.m., which is the actual battle reenactment, which will take place in the park north of the amphitheater in that low-lying area of open ground. And so then following that, we'll have more festivities throughout the afternoon, and then at 6:30 there will be a Civil War ball with the music provided by the X-Line Family Band, so folks can come out and listen to Civil War era music and dance and learn dances that were popular during that time period. And then what I think is probably one of the neatest things to see, and is certainly a fan favorite, is the night cannon fire. That will take place at 9 p.m. And so the cannons will be hauled up to a high point in the park, and then after nightfall the cannons will be fired, and it's really amazing. It's not only the sound of the cannons fire, and you get an idea of what that must have sounded like, but also it's akin to ground-based fireworks, just seeing the flames shoot out of the cannons. It's just a really neat thing to see. Really encourage people to come out to that. And I should mention that all these events are free. So there's no charge to come to Rotary Park and see the reenactments, so that's certainly a plus. Also like to mention that for anybody who may live in the vicinity of Rotary Park, 3 years ago the 911 board lit up quite a bit as that night cannon fire started. So just want everybody to know that it is planned.
Yes, you have been warned, and everything is okay. Yep.
Right, exactly.
So now tell me what this means for the community. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are really interested in visiting Kirksville and taking part in all of this.
Oh, sure, absolutely. You know, anytime we can have an event where we bring a lot of tourists into town and they spend their money here in the city of Kirksville, that encourages economic development. And so we have at least 150 reenactors coming in just to put on the reenactment itself. And from what we understand from the various avenues that the Office of Tourism has advertised the event, we should expect a pretty good turnout. So that's always great for the city, and we always encourage events of this type to take place. And also I should mention too, before we get too far off track, the events continue Sunday as well, right? So they'll resume Sunday morning at 8. There's actually a church service and a period church service at 11 a.m. and then a second battle reenactment at 1 p.m. So.
Wonderful. So again, a lot of stuff that's going on. Now, tell me a little bit, we have a lot of people coming into the area and everything like that. Tell me now just a little bit about what the feedback is or the excitement of people that haven't been here in the past, maybe 3 years ago when it took place.
Sure. Well, I think people are always interested to learn more about history, and as we were kind of talking before this segment, you know, a lot of people aren't even aware that Kirksville had a battle during the Civil War. And a lot of people probably don't realize as well that the state of Missouri had more Civil War battles than any other state in the Union at the time, or the Confederacy. And now those battles weren't necessarily the largest or the most famous, but Missouri did have the most. And so whenever folks can come out and learn more about their own history and local history, I think that's exciting. And so people have been excited about this event coming up, and they're looking forward to it, and it's always a good time to come out and bring the family, learn more about history, and especially our local history, and of course it's a free event, so that helps too.
Yes, that is a plus. Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning. We're going to put all this information on our website, heartlandconnection.com. We'll link up the Facebook page in case you have any questions, and we'll be right back.